The official trailer for Stranger Things Season 5 has finally been released, and they revealed a lot of important information. They even showed us the epic return of Vecna, who is more powerful than in the previous season. That's why today on Charlietales, we'll analyze the Stranger Things trailer scene by scene, and I'll tell you everything you need to know about the new season. Ready? Let's begin. The trailer starts with a van parked outside a radio station. According to leaks, Robin and Steve have a radio station called WSQK, and they will use it to contact the rest of the team. This radio will be extremely valuable this season. As we can see, there is an antenna on the roof of the van. Steve will use it to broadcast on the move. In several scenes, we see the military presence in Hawkins. It was revealed some time ago that the entire town will have military personnel everywhere. That's why in several scenes of the trailer, we see soldiers fighting against Demogorgons. In other scenes, we also see kids hiding in bunkers. The military presence will be a constant element this season. We see someone running from a Demogorgon in the Upside Down. Due to the darkness, we can't tell who it is. However, this behind-the-scenes photo was leaked a while ago, allowing us to identify him. It's Will, and he's wearing the same clothes he wore in Season 1. This is the same outfit he wore when he disappeared. This makes me think this scene might be a memory from Will's past. But of course, it's just a theory. The trailer showed us several scenes of Will. For example, this one in which he feels chills on his neck. Remember that in the last season's finale, he felt this every time Vecna got close. Will's connection with Vecna will be crucial this season. We have more scenes of Steve driving. It's no longer the same van from the beginning. It's a car. But as we can see, it has the same antenna the van had. So Steve is transmitting from here. This radio transmission issue will be very important, and I'll explain it better in the next point. At several moments, we see a sound mixer turning up the volume. It rises throughout the trailer. I think Steve will broadcast an important song through his radio. Remember that in the last season, music proved to be a strong weapon against Vecna, so maybe they'll use a special song to stop him. We get our first look at Linda Hamilton, who many remember for playing Sarah Connor in the legendary Terminator saga. In Stranger Things, she'll play a character named Dr. Kai. We don't know much more about her, but in this scene, she's seen armed with a military group, so her character will be quite tough. We see Dustin next to Eddie's grave. Someone vandalized the tombstone writing, "Burn in Hell." Remember that Eddie Munson died last season during the battle against Vecna. However, no one in the town found out about his sacrifice. Everyone thought the deaths in Season 4 were caused by Eddie and his club called Hellfire. Therefore, Eddie is considered a monster by the people. It's truly a shame. We have more scenes of Max in a coma. Remember that the new season will take place a couple of years after the previous one. Therefore, Max will be asleep for a long time. Lucas has stayed by her side all these years. There's a radio here that probably plays Max's favorite song. Music has always been a good defense against Vecna. That's why Lucas keeps the radio nearby. Later, we see Lucas hugging Max while they hide from several demodogs. Some believe Max will be awake in this scene. But if we look closely, her eyes are closed. Lucas literally had to carry her out of bed to protect her. The scene with the Demodog seems like a reference to the raptors from Jurassic Park, the legendary 1993 movie. We see several scenes of Eleven and Hopper in some place within the Upside Down. They will have an adventure together, and it will be quite dangerous. In this scene, we see Hopper getting shot. Eleven is passed out on the right, and Hopper's only option is to throw a couple of grenades. Karen and Holly Wheeler are holding their breath in a water tank. I suspect this will be an illusion created by Vecna. It was revealed that the second episode of the season will be titled The Disappearance of Holly Wheeler, and will involve Vecna capturing her by appearing in his human form. In this photo, we can see Holly next to Vecna, and in this leaked video, we see Holly wearing a dress similar to Alice from Alice in Wonderland. The idea of the episode is that Vecna will use his powers to trap her in a place similar to that story. That's why Holly wears clothes similar to Alice's. And as we can see, in the water scene, Holly is wearing the same green, yellow, and red clothes. We get a very emotional conversation between Jonathan and Nancy. He says that everything they've lived through together has connected them forever. But what does that mean? The production also released this photo, in which they look much closer. Both their faces show pain and sorrow. Many of us have the theory that Jonathan will say goodbye to Nancy for some reason. Hence the line and the sad faces. Later we get this scene of Nancy crying and wiping blood off her hands. Most likely something tragic happened to a loved one. Maybe someone died. We don't have clear clues. But for now, the most likely person is Jonathan. As we saw in the previous photos, he was saying goodbye. In this scene, we see Eleven literally flying using her powers. This had never happened in previous seasons. But it's not far-fetched, since Eleven has often lifted heavy things with her mind. Lifting her own body shouldn't be hard. Now for the main event. The protagonists are on the street looking at something terrifying. It's Vecna, who has returned. If we look closely, behind Joyce, there are several defeated soldiers. Vecna likely knocked them out. Let's talk about Vecna. He's entering through this kind of membrane-like wall. In earlier scenes, we saw soldiers guarding a very similar door. This makes me think that throughout the season, we'll see the protagonists trying to prevent creatures from coming in through these entrances. Vecna's design has changed. Now he's covered in skeletal-looking branches. He also has many sharp spikes. Another important detail is that someone is attacking him with a flamethrower. But Vecna is stopping the attack with his powers. Remember that last season Vecna was defeated with fire. That's why the protagonists will try this technique again, but it probably won't work. Eleven is lying in a bathtub filled with water. Last season, we saw something similar. This is a technique Eleven used to focus her powers and project her presence over long distances. That's how she confronted Vecna the first time, and it seems she'll repeat the trick. Outside the trailer, this photo of almost the whole team was released. The most interesting thing is that we see Steve using a huge chainsaw. From the context of the photo, we understand he's not using it to fight. He used it to cut through this wooden floor. We don't know what they're looking at, but it's probably something important, though I'm sure we'll see Steve using this chainsaw against a monster. This photo of Will and Robin was also revealed. Here we can notice several things. First, Robin dyed her hair. She's blonde now, when she used to be a redhead. And the most interesting part is that we'll have a small adventure starring these two characters. It's an unusual team, and one we've never seen in the series, Will and Robin. In this scene, we see Will being captured by something. If we look closely, he's surrounded by branch-like structures with sharp bones. This really reminds us of Vecna's new skeletal form. Many of us have the theory that Vecna will use Will somehow. Maybe Will will turn into a new and powerful kind of monster. That's why in the previous trailer, we saw him screaming desperately. In this scene, he's holding himself back, like he's enduring something inside his body. Vecna did something to Will, and we'll see it in the new season. In this scene, we see Will fainting. We don't understand the context, but I believe this connects to the previous theory. The season will show us Will trying to contain the evil Vecna placed inside him, and that will take a lot of effort. That's why he faints. In the previous trailer, we also saw scenes of Will fainted in his mother's arms. He will suffer a lot this season. But tell me, what do you think of this theory? That's all for today. If you liked the video, you'd really help me out by leaving a like. That would be legendary. Also, remember to subscribe to see more videos like this. Thanks for listening. My name is Charlie, and I'll see you in the future.